As autumn deepens, a restless energy signals significant changes ahead. The tranquil weather is set to shift dramatically, bringing a complex interplay of atmospheric forces. From the Caribbean to the northern U.S., the weather map is about to get busy, demanding our attention and preparation. A late-season tropical cyclone may emerge from the Caribbean, while powerful storm systems line up across the U.S., bringing rain, wind, and early snows. Understanding these changes is crucial, as global weather systems are interconnected, influencing patterns far inland. Our journey begins with a look south, towards the tropics, where conditions are ripe for storm development. The Caribbean Sea, a vast expanse of turquoise water stretching between the Americas, is more than just a paradise for travelers and a haven for marine life. It's also a powerful engine for tropical weather, acting as a reservoir of warm water that can set the stage for dramatic atmospheric events. As the sun beats down day after day, the sea absorbs and stores immense amounts of heat, creating the perfect environment for tropical cyclones to form and intensify. Right now, these waters are primed to fuel tropical cyclones, with sea surface temperatures running above average for this time of year. The heat energy stored in the upper layers of the ocean acts as high-octane fuel, ready to be tapped by any developing weather system. Meteorologists and forecasters across the region are on high alert, closely monitoring satellite imagery and atmospheric data for any signs of trouble. Their attention is focused on a potential system that could begin organizing within the next several days, as subtle changes in wind patterns and cloud formations hint at the early stages of tropical development. This period is especially critical. When sea temperatures are this high warm, even a small disturbance can quickly escalate. If atmospheric conditions, like low wind shear and moist air, align just right, rapid intensification is possible, turning a weak system into a powerful storm in a matter of hours. Adding to the concern, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, a major driver of tropical weather patterns, is now entering a phase that favors storm development in the Caribbean. This means that not only are the waters warm, but the atmosphere is also becoming more supportive, with low wind shear creating a stable environment for storms to grow and organize. Early satellite images and radar data are already showing the first hints of a low-pressure area consolidating over the central Caribbean. Swirling clouds and subtle pressure drops suggest that the ingredients for storm formation are coming together, and meteorologists are watching closely for signs of further organization. Computer models, including the widely respected GFS ensemble, are now consistently signaling strong potential for development. These models use complex algorithms to simulate the atmosphere, and when they agree, confidence in a storm forming increases significantly. The latest runs show a growing consensus that a tropical cyclone could emerge, possibly becoming a significant storm as it tracks through the region. For residents across the Caribbean, this is a time to stay vigilant and prepared. People in islands such as Hispaniola, Cuba, and Jamaica are already tuning in to weather updates, making early preparations, and discussing plans with their families. The memories of past storms linger, and communities know how quickly conditions can change. Puerto Rico, too, is on alert, along with other at-risk islands. Coastal communities are bracing for the possibility of heavy rain, strong winds, and dangerous surf, knowing that even a glancing blow from a tropical system can bring significant impacts. The recent quiet spell in the tropics appears to be coming to an end. With all the ingredients coming together, the potential for a significant late-season storm is very real. As the situation evolves, staying informed and prepared will be crucial for everyone in the Caribbean. Once a tropical cyclone forms, its path becomes crucial, not just for meteorologists, but for millions of people living in its potential path. The moment a storm is born over warm ocean waters, experts around the world begin to track its every move, knowing that even a small shift in direction can mean the difference between a close call and a direct hit. The stakes are high, and the science of predicting where a storm will go is both fascinating and vital. Forecast models present different scenarios with significant implications. Teams of meteorologists pore over data, using advanced computer models to simulate the storm's future. These models take into account countless variables: sea surface temperatures, atmospheric pressure, wind patterns, and even the influence of distant weather systems. Each run of the model can produce a slightly different outcome, and experts must interpret these results to provide the best possible guidance to the public. The GFS model, one of the most widely used American forecast systems, suggests a track impacting several Caribbean islands before approaching the U.S., posing a multinational threat. According to this scenario, the storm could sweep across the Lesser Antilles, bringing heavy rain and strong winds, before setting its sights on larger islands like Hispaniola and Cuba. From there, the system could continue to strengthen as it moves toward the southeastern United States, putting millions more at risk. This path could bring destructive winds, floods, and storm surges to Hispaniola and Cuba. Coastal communities may face days of preparation and uncertainty, as residents brace for the possibility of power outages, damaged infrastructure, and dangerous flooding. Emergency services in these regions are already on alert, ready to respond if the storm's worst impacts materialize. Alternatively, the ECMWF model, the highly respected European forecast system, shows a slower timeline, with the storm developing further south and west, potentially impacting the Gulf of Mexico. In this scenario, the system could spend more time gathering strength over open water, increasing the risk of rapid intensification. The Gulf Coast, from Texas to Florida, would need to watch closely, as a powerful hurricane could threaten major cities and vital infrastructure. This scenario poses a direct threat to the U.S., with possible landfall near North Carolina. The Outer Banks and surrounding areas are no strangers to hurricanes, but each storm brings its own unique dangers. High winds, torrential rain, and dangerous storm surge could all be in play, depending on the storm's final track and intensity. The uncertainty highlights the challenges of long-range forecasting, with models differing by hundreds of miles. Even with today's advanced technology, predicting a hurricane's exact path days in advance remains a complex puzzle. Small changes in steering winds or atmospheric conditions can dramatically alter the outcome, making it essential for everyone in the potential impact zone to stay informed and prepared. Interest from the Gulf Coast to the eastern seaboard should stay alert, as a significant tropical threat is emerging. Now is the time to review emergency plans, secure property, and pay close attention to official updates. Communities up and down the coast are reminded that preparation is key, even when the storm's final destination is still uncertain. While the exact destination is uncertain, the potential for a high-impact event is clear. As the storm continues to evolve, staying vigilant and informed will be crucial for everyone in its possible path. The coming days will reveal more, but for now, the message is simple: be ready, stay safe, and keep watching the skies. Forecasting a storm more than a week in advance is a delicate balancing act between science and uncertainty. At this range, meteorologists rely on probability and model guidance, not absolute certainty. The atmosphere is a chaotic system, and small changes in initial conditions can lead to vastly different outcomes. This means that long-range forecasts are more about assessing risk and potential scenarios than making definitive predictions. Every day, forecasters must weigh the latest data, knowing that what seems likely today could shift tomorrow as new information comes in. To tackle this challenge, meteorologists use sophisticated computer models like the GFS and ECMWF. These models simulate the atmosphere using millions of calculations, but even the best models can produce different outcomes for the same storm. Each model has its own strengths and weaknesses, and sometimes they disagree, leaving forecasters to interpret which solution is more plausible. For example, the GFS model is known for being aggressive, often predicting stronger or more rapidly developing storms. In contrast, the ECMWF is valued for its consistency, but it can be slower to pick up on sudden changes. This difference can lead to very different forecasts, especially when a potential storm is still far out at sea. To better understand the range of possibilities, forecasters turn to ensemble suites. These are collections of model runs with slightly different starting conditions, producing a spread of possible storm tracks and intensities. By analyzing these ensembles, meteorologists can gauge the level of confidence in a particular scenario and identify areas where uncertainty is highest. Adding to the complexity, new artificial intelligence models are now part of the forecasting toolkit. These AI-driven systems can process vast amounts of data and sometimes spot patterns that traditional models miss. However, for this event, even advanced technology is sending mixed signals, highlighting just how challenging it is to predict the future path and strength of a storm. With so much conflicting information, forecasters must sift through the noise to communicate a clear and coherent message to the public. They look for trends, signs of model convergence, and any clues that might indicate which scenario is becoming more likely. This process requires experience, intuition, and constant vigilance. Ultimately, embracing uncertainty is part of the job. As new data arrives and models update, forecasts evolve. Meteorologists prepare for a range of outcomes, always ready to adjust their guidance as the picture becomes clearer. In the end, the goal is to keep people informed and prepared, no matter how unpredictable the storm may be. While the tropics brew, a different weather pattern unfolds across the U.S., with a parade of storms. A deep trough in the west will unleash energetic systems, sweeping across the nation over the next weeks. This relentless pattern brings significant day-to-day changes, with rain and snow in the west and thunderstorms in the Midwest. The first system brings rain and snow to the western states, with a risk of flooding. As it moves east, warm air from the Gulf fuels thunderstorms in the Midwest and Great Lakes. This pattern marks a major seasonal transition, with summer warmth clashing with autumn cold, fueling storm systems. As we approach the weekend, active weather shifts eastward with the next storm system. A low-pressure area intensifies over the mid-Mississippi Valley, creating a volatile environment for severe thunderstorms. The threat area stretches across the Midwest, with potential for damaging winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes. Residents from Missouri to the Ohio Valley should monitor forecasts and have a plan for severe weather. By Sunday, the storm system spreads rain and thunderstorms across the eastern U.S., with a risk of gusty winds and flooding. A powerful cold front follows, bringing cooler, less humid air and autumnal temperatures to the southeast and central plains. The upcoming weather pattern brings a temperature tug-of-war across the U.S., dividing the nation between warmth and chill. Strong southerly winds pump warm air north, leading to unseasonable temperatures in the south and Midwest. This warmth fuels severe thunderstorms forecasted for the weekend. Meanwhile, cold air from Canada spills south, bringing below-normal temperatures to the northern plains and west. Frosts and freezes are expected, with lows dipping below freezing in many areas. This temperature contrast drives active weather, spawning storm systems, and keeping weather maps interesting. Beyond weather, our dynamic planet and solar system influence Earth. Events on the sun can affect us here. 2 coronal mass ejections are set to trigger a moderate geomagnetic storm, potentially visible as auroras in the northern U.S. A coronal hole on the sun is sending enhanced solar wind towards Earth, keeping geomagnetic conditions unsettled. This solar activity reminds us of the approaching peak of solar cycle 25, with more space weather events expected. Earthly tremors continue, with a recent earthquake in Micronesia and minor tremors in Texas and California. These cosmic and earthly events highlight the energetic environment we live in. With dynamic weather ahead, staying informed and prepared is crucial. Refine your hurricane preparedness plan, ensuring emergency supplies and a family communication strategy. For those in storm paths, know the difference between watches and warnings, and identify safe places in your home. Avoid flooded roads with the mantra, "Turn around, don't drown." Weather awareness means respecting nature's power and taking proactive steps for safety. The coming weeks promise challenges for meteorologists and the public. By staying informed and ready, we can navigate the atmospheric upheaval together.